It just got real messy towards the end of everything.
Questions and he wasn't answering it, or
Oh
like,
yeah, he's the king of deflection.
Oh,
He couldn't let it go. And then at one point, he did tell me that I lacked confidence.
The damage was done already, where it's like, you got over it, but I'm not. And and then she wasn't feeling it.
I don't think he got over it. But even my daughter, my mom plays. We have like 3 PlayStations.
Oh, here, let's go, okay, let's go. Yeah. She wanna make me her wife, but I don't wanna be her wife, okay. Slide by in the motherfucking range, I do the dash in the vintage, yeah.
YouTube, what is good with y'all? I'm back again with another Pop the Balloon reaction video. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this video. Let me know what else I should be reacting to. 98% of y'all is not subscribed, so if you fuck with the video, then tap in and subscribe. Make sure you like the video and check out my playlist to see my other balloon pop reaction videos. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
Reggie and Nova. Welcome, guys.
Hey.
How
How's it
we
going?
feeling today?
Good.
Okay.
Feeling great.
That's what we like to hear. So we did have you guys on episode 9 of Pop the Balloon or Find Love, where you ended up matching. Okay, so is it gonna be a yes for you for him?
Yes.
And is it a yes for you for her?
Definitely.
We got a match! All right, I'll take this mic. You guys can go on off. Okay, and so on that episode, we did get to know a little bit about each of you, but just to let the people know a little bit more, give them a little refresher. Nova, let's start with you. Tell us about yourself.
So, I'm born and raised in Arizona, and I have a 10-year-old daughter. I am an esthetician. I am in nursing school, and I've always been in healthcare. I've been in healthcare for about 11 years.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of been my go-to job. Like, every time I have, like, a little hustle or whatever, I always go back to the hospital.
Got it.
So I'm pretty big on that. I've done a lot of things. I used to model. I used to host clubs in different cities.
Okay.
I'm well traveled.
Yeah, you've done a lot.
Yeah, I'm a pretty private person too. Like, this is kind of a new experience for me. Being so, everything used to be like party and go. And now it's like more personal. So I'm not used to disclosing a lot of information like this. So it's been a journey. I am very fast in a very different way.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
That's pretty much it. I'm definitely trying to get back into my modeling. Definitely about to get back on Instagram, go crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I tried this because I literally felt like I was having bad luck finding relationships that would work for me.
Yeah.
Especially after my whole experience in the entertainment world. I had a partner and he ended up passing away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
Yeah,
that.
so we were kind of like on our Bonnie and Clyde stuff. So when that kind of dissipated, I kind of got out of it because it wasn't fun anymore. So yeah, I just kind of started changing my life, but dating has been hard ever since.
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
It's been hard. So yeah,
I don't know if it's just me, but she looked way better on the show than she looks right now. Like, I think it was just a hairstyle. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, it's just, I do like that top that she has on. Like, she's showing off the goods right now, but let me not be too whatever you call it, my head in the gutter, whatever you want to call it. So, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like we haven't really gotten much out of her other than she used to be really into like the hosting. That's what I was saying, like when she said, that's what I was thinking when she was saying, I used to be a host. I used to be modeling and doing all this, but I'm not used to being in the limelight. I'm not used to disclosing stuff. Like, if you're doing all that, you have to be posting. You have to be like on social media and whatnot. So that's where the confusion came in, but sounds like she kind of stepped away from it.
yeah, I kind of came into this like I told you, I was like, I didn't even know that I was gonna get on the
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
Like,
you did say that.
I just winged it, and my mom was like, "Yeah, like, what do you have to lose? Like, what are you doing right now?" And I'm
Literally.
like, "Oh, I guess like it'll be an experience. I might meet someone." And yeah, so I came on the show, and I was like, at first I was like, okay, this is crazy. It was like speed dating on crack. Okay, unscripted. Everything was just wild, and it was like going from like the super private person to being like on blast, like in a different way. It was wild. Yeah, it was wild. It was wild. It was a good experience, but it was wild.
Okay, all right. Get to know you a little bit, Nova.
Yeah, a little bit.
Now, Reggie, what about for yourself?
So pretty much just about me. So like I said on the show, I do motivational music. So it's something I've been working on. Financial literacy, teach people about, repairing their credit, starting passive income, things like that. And overall, just I like to consider myself a fun guy. You know what I mean? Like I said in the show about experiences, it's not what you do, it's who you with. You do the same thing that you do with the right, you do the same thing you do regularly, but with the right person, you can make it a fun time. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely, when it comes to that, I'm definitely, yeah, that's me. You know what I mean? So I'm all about kind of like experience. I have like goofy sides about me, a business side. It's all about, following your dreams, following your goals, and experiencing life with finding a life partner ultimately.
Okay, nice. All right. So Reggie, as we saw on the show, one of the questions you actually ended up asking Nova when we brought her up to the front was like, what are some of your vices? Where did that question come from?
Yes. So since you're asking about me and I didn't mention that. So after high school, I became a professional gamer.
Oh.
And so like for me, like I said, I had questions that I had kind of pre-planned. Like I wanted to ask these questions. Really only got to ask one, and then they kind of was asking me questions. And then when we got to the front, and then when she hit me with the smooth line, like, "Well, I want to talk to you privately," So after that, I was like, I obviously want to match with her, right? But I wanted to be kind of transparent. It's one thing that I look for within myself, that I'm, preach within myself. So I wanted to made sure that was known to her, because I didn't want something to happen where it's like, oh, he plays video games. You know what I mean? Because it's like a stigma. It's like, is it a childish thing? Is it or not? Personally, I believe, you can be any age. It's a good vice, that your guy is in the house. But let's get too deep. So in this case, I want.
No, it's not getting too deep. Let's talk about it, because they all be on our ass about these playing video games. But would you rather me be out in the club? Would you rather me be out flirting with other women? Like, would you rather me be drinking and smoking? Or would you rather me be playing video games, which is just a harmless thing? Like, worst case scenario, you get a little addicted, you spend a little bit too much time playing the game, maybe you'll get a little mad about the game, whatever. But it's nothing childish about it. It's nothing wrong with it. And in fact, it's very harmless. Like, you're not gambling. Like, there's nothing wrong with gambling, but you could lose a lot of money gambling. You could mess up your credit. People have really ruined their lives. And it's not to say you couldn't ruin your life by playing video games or just staying in the house all day, but that doesn't make it childish. And at the end of the day, it's like way not. It's nowhere near as bad as many other vices that men tend to have.
I wanted just to make it known that was a thing for me. And then, she gave the perfect response. And it's just like, yeah.
Yeah. And so Nova, are video games like a big part of your life, or
big part of my life? I never was a professional. I never was like a professional. But I've been playing video games for as long as I can remember. Like, I never made it like a hobby or like a job. But even my daughter and my mom plays. We have like 3 PlayStations at the house. Yeah, we have like. Yeah, so I never made it like a profession, but yeah, I play video games. I have my favorites. Like, Reggie was definitely gonna show me like more, like deeper into it, and I was definitely all game for it. But yeah, I have my favorites.
Okay.
But, yeah, I wouldn't call myself a gamer, but I do play video games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has that ever been? Because I know he kind of mentioned, maybe someone could find it childish or whatever it is. Has that ever been a problem for you? No? Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, come on. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Now, Reggie, has that ever been a problem for you in any past relationships?
It has, actually. It actually has. Like I said, it's that stigma. Like, is it a childish thing? Is it, like I said, it's I think it's 50-50. Like, even like if I've seen some reactions, some people were saying, oh, that's great. Or some people like, you know what I mean? So For me, it's just, it is who I am. You know what I mean? And like I said, when I was answering one of those questions, like, you have to be comfortable being who you are. So I don't shy away from it. It's like, I wanted to show Nova like who I am, and then have her match with me off the pretense like, this is this guy. He's not gonna change and be something else. You know what I mean? And just when a quick aside, Nova says she's not a gamer. Amazing gamer. She will beat you all in Fortnite. I promise you.
A lot of practice.
All right, girl, you gotta show them how it's done.
Sometimes, right?
Okay, so I know a question that's just been on everyone's mind, because I know most people love that you guys are able to kind of vibe and connect on the gamer thing. So let me cross my fingers and hope you guys answer this question how the whole world wants. But since you matched on the show, has there been a date?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Tell me about it, Nova.
So,
I feel like before she gets into it, I feel like it is rare nowadays to find girls that like video games. Like, it's just tough out here, like, for the gamers. Like, you trying to find somebody that, I think it's in general hard for men to find women that are into any male kind of type of activity, like playing pool, playing video games, watching sports. I feel like all those, I feel like sports be the one females tend sometimes to be interested in, or at least more supportive of. When it comes to video games, you don't meet a lot of girls that be into gaming like that, especially guys like 3 PlayStations in the house, beating up on people in Fortnite. Come on now. I got to give her props for that one.
during the show, I was in transition between jobs. So I was actually off for 2 weeks, and I believe Reggie was too. Like, we both were transitioning. And so we kind of spent a lot of time together the first like couple weeks. And we went to the first night with the other couple, Brittany and Philip. Yeah, with Brittany and Philip, we went, we didn't go with them, but we ended up running into them at the Champagne Lanes.
Yeah.
And I wanted to play games, so I actually wanted to take him to Cobra, which is an arcade bar that I absolutely love. Like, they have all the old games, the Tetris, like, yeah, it was good, but it was too packed, so we ended up going to Champagne Lanes, and that's how we ended up running into them. So that was like, it wasn't a date, but it was kind of like, okay, we matched. Let's see what, let's talk more. And then after that, we ended up going to Cobra. I think it was like during the week when it wasn't as busy. And we actually had a good time, like a really good time. It was fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the going to Cobra was kind of like the official first date.
Yeah, that was the official first date.
Okay, and how soon after the show was that?
Probably the next day.
Oh. That's what we like to hear. Y'all wasted no time.
No time. He actually let me go home after the show to change, because I was like so nervous, sweating. It was crazy. So I was like, please, can I go home? Like, and he definitely let me go home and change. So that we end up, like, if you see the picture, like, I'm in a whole nother outfit.
Yeah.
I was like, no, let me go change. So yeah, I was just really nervous from the show. So we had a good time, but we waste no time. We didn't waste no time.
Okay, so Reggie, how was everything for you after the show?
Yeah, she hit it on the head. She hit it on the head. So as soon as after the show, so even before the last person came out, we left. I was like, hey, let's go on a date. Let's go out. So we was she actually had that great idea. She was like, well, why don't we go to, we said with like gamers, let's go to the arcade. I was like, arcade bar, never heard of that. So we went there. But yeah, Super Pack couldn't get in there. Went to Champagne Lanes. We seen my man Philip and his match there. That's when we did that group picture that y'all seen. And then we did want to bowl, but it's kind of like how it was set up, we wouldn't have been able to bowl. So then we was like, okay, for the next day, let's go to the arcade bar. Played all the arcade games, got some drinks. After that, we didn't even want the night to end, went to Dave and Buster's. So we like really yeah. So we definitely was being true to who we were, talking, getting to know each other. It was definitely great moments.
Okay, so you guys went from one arcade place to the next.
Yes,
wow,
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a long night.
And then, so, after that, like, how was the communication? And, like, I know you guys said you both had kind of like a 2 weeks off, so how was that?
Yeah, we were pretty much together almost every day after that. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we were together pretty much every day.
I don't know. I'm interested to see how this ends. Like, because it seems like things are going really well. Not that they're talking about the date and whatnot, but in the beginning, it was kind of sensing some tension between the two of them. But I don't know, like the arcade bars, like this is the type of stuff that I like doing. Like, and it's crazy. Like she said, they went to 2 arcades in one day. That is just crazy. But I don't know, like I think she looks good, and I like to play video games, so she's already winning me over. Now the kid thing, that's something that I don't particularly like because I ain't trying to play stepdaddy. So you know, I have to really like them for me to talk to somebody that had a kid. So if it was just on the dating show like that, then I probably would have popped her balloon. I'm not gonna lie.
After that,
Okay.
even for just a little bit, like a couple hours out of the day. But yeah, it was pretty much every day after that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You guys did a lot of like fun things, like, or was it more like chill vibes?
Well, he was getting ready for work, so he was just I did a couple ride-alongs.
Oh.
I was,
Big energy.
I'm chilling. You know?
Yeah. Just as long as you're spending time together, kind of
that's
thing,
it.
right?
Yeah. I don't ask for much.
So how were the ride-alongs? Like, did you invite her, or she was like, "I'm coming"? Like,
No.
how'd that go?
I definitely was. Well, I invited her, and then but she was down to come, so it was like
Okay.
it's 50-50 with it. So yeah, it was like. So we did the 2 dates. Then it was like, hey, you're a dope person. I'm a dope person. You know, I want you in my company. You know what I mean? And like I really wanted to make it a point to kind of be intentional with how I was moving, be purposeful. So I was like, hey, I mean, I'm feeling it. You're feeling it. I got to go check this office out. Come with me. She helped me like put tables and chairs in my office. We really was definitely tag team dynamic and duo in it outside on that type of time. So yeah, it definitely was just great moments. We just was with each other every day basically.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
2 weeks, yeah.
For
Wow. Okay. And then after the 2 weeks, how was everything? Like.
Well, we started talking about our past, my past, and I still know very little about Reggie.
Oh.
Even though we spent a lot of time together, I wasn't able to get all the questions I wanted answered.
Okay.
Yeah, so it got hard because it was more focused on me and like what I've been doing and what my life was and more about that. And I was like, I healed from it. You know, I grew up from that. I'm 30 years old. I wasn't into, you know, in the entertainment world for like 6 years now. So it was kind of like, get over it. But at the same time, I understood, like, as a man, he wanted to know, like, all the ins and outs of it.
Yeah.
And so I was very open, very transparent about everything. But it just got to a point where it was like, he couldn't let it go. And then at one point, he did tell me that I lacked confidence. So that was a problem for me because it was like, you don't know me. Like, how can you say that I lack anything if you haven't even gave me a chance to show you like who I am or what I'm capable of? Like, when you show confidence, like, I went on a show, didn't know anybody there, like, you know, like, not even, this is not my cup of tea. Like, I like to meet people old fashioned, like grocery store, gas station, even out at the bar, like, not on a dating show, you know? So I was like, what? Like, so that kind of threw me back. And then it was like, it just got real messy towards the end of everything.
Okay. And now, I know you said it was really like a lot focused on you. Like, were you asking him questions and he wasn't answering it, or like?
Yeah, he's the king of deflection.
Oh wow! Look at her face. Like, look at Arlette's face right now. But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, why didn't she feel like she could ask him questions if he was asking her a bunch of questions? Like, that just seems like, I don't know, like why wouldn't you? Like, you've been around each other all this time. Like, you have plenty of time to ask your questions. It's not like there's a rush or anything. But also, like, on one hand, I'm like, okay, you know, you gotta be okay. Like, you know, she was in the entertainment industry. She said she's healed from it. You gotta take her word for it if you want to keep talking to her, or you should just cut it off. So I guess they did just cut it off. But then, like, I don't know, like at the same time, like sometimes that stuff just doesn't leave you. Like maybe that's where he was saying the lack of confidence came from. Like she needed that validation or something. And just because you went on a dating show, just one act of confidence doesn't mean that you are confident, that you exude confidence. Just because you do one thing confident, it's not necessarily who you are. It could be somebody influenced you to do it, like her mom or whatever. So that doesn't automatically make you confident.
You king of deflection.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So and he owns it. Like he knows. So hey, I mean, it was something that was like, this is me, and I was like, oh well. We were having so much fun. Why didn't you come sooner?
Yeah.
It was kind of one of those things for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reggie? What's going on, Mr. King of Deflection?
So, so pretty much the quote unquote like problem started was we did have a conversation. Like I said, we spent a lot of time with each other, so we was having like deep conversations, not just like surface level, like past the surface level. Like we really was getting deep, and so pretty much. She was saying like we had to talk like what did you think, like how like did you know you was gonna match with me, we just kind of talking, and it was like a thing, it was like tell me about, like we was talking, it's kind of like tell me some things, you know what I mean? It's like it was not just like you're not confident, like we actually was having a conversation, and I said that, you know what I mean? I just said it was like I think you can be more confident, and that was our like first big argument, but like I also said in the show, I'm big on communication, I'm big on conversation. So we talked through it. It definitely was kind of early on. So, it might have turned her off a little bit. But I was kind of happy that we went through that, because it's like, if we're getting through this hard stuff now, then it's those roses and flowers at the end. You know what I mean? So it's like, we went through that. We talked through it. It was a tough talk, but we got through it. And then that pretty much was the theme. It was like, whatever a hard conversation is, like she said with the past, we had a hard conversation about that as well. And that was something that I haven't experienced before, so it was difficult for me. So I like sought counsel for that. You know what I'm saying? I talked to my best friend, talked to female friends. Shout out BM. He helped me with counsel as well with that. So yeah, and then I got over it. And it's like basically more specific, like she's saying, being in like the entertainment world. Like I've never talked to someone, who did that before. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was even going so much to the point where I was getting counsel from her, like, hey, how did you have you gone through this before? You know what I mean? So I was being true to who I was, as far as like trying to have the communication part at a high level. But it's just like something that I kind of learned from. I might be jumping the gun a little bit, but something I kind of learned from it is like, if someone is like has like past trauma, something like this, it's like you have to tread lightly when you're talking to them. And because, like, I'm just telling you, like, I'm big on communication, so it might seem like I'm poking a bear, but I'm really trying to learn you to figure out how I can love you better. You know what I mean? Okay. So but if I'm triggering something and not realizing it, and it just seems like I'm antagonizing, you feel like, you're defending yourself every day, then, like, in hindsight, I can see how it looked from her perspective. But in that moment, I was just like, you're hiding stuff from me. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I have to take responsibility for that as well.
I don't know, like it just seemed like the way he explained it seemed like he phrased it differently. Like the way you phrase something really matters, and if he said you could get more confident, it's not the same as saying you aren't confident. Like those are two different things. So, and then like she said, it felt like he was just honing in on every little thing that she was doing wrong, or like really delving deep on her, but they didn't really get a chance to talk about him. And I feel like we still haven't really gotten to that, as far as like hearing why he deflects. He just went to talking about why he asked her the questions that he did and their arguments and them trying to work from it. But it seems like he really was trying to work through stuff, seeking out counsel, and really not just giving up on the situation with ease.
Okay. So she's saying, you got to know her and all that stuff, but she didn't really get much out of you. Like, what was the reasoning for that? Like, why didn't you open up, I guess?
So it's not like a thing of like, I'm not opening up, like I'm an open book. You can tell like communication is good for me. But it's like we were I would say I was so focused on that part that is like I couldn't get past it. You know what I mean? For a minute, like I said, I was talking to people, even talking to her, to figure out like, hey, like I don't know what the past is looking like. Like I don't know if something, like, is she really telling me the truth type stuff. But like I said, the beauty of it, when you have a conversation with your partner, you can get over it. So I was working towards getting over those things, and I was getting over those things, I feel. But I think possibly the damage was done already, where it's like, you got over it, but I'm not. And, and then she wasn't feeling it.
I don't think he got over it.
Okay.
I really don't. This kind of like once it was out there, it dragged the whole month. Like we really just stopped talking like a week ago.
Wow.
So it never stopped. And then as far as like trauma, like I don't have trauma of my past. Like I've grown from it. Like I said, this was 6 years ago. I would hope that I've grown from it,
yeah.
like, so it's kind of like to have someone come into your life and not know you and then call it a trauma or say that you're lacking in confidence or when you've done all these crazy wonderful things that a lot of people are afraid to do. It's like, what? Like, who are you talking to? Like, you're not talking to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a confident person. I'm just a private person. I'm a calm person. So a lot of people don't know how to accept that. So when they see me, it's always, I gotta be doing something or but that's not the case. Like, when I was in the entertainment world, I did have a partner. I didn't have to do any of the extra crazy stuff that a lot of other women do. I never dabbled in drugs. I didn't have to cope with anything. Like, where there was a mission and that was all there was to it. And so explaining that to him, he wasn't understanding that. It just was like, no, that's not true. That's not true. And then it was like, well, I'm an eligible bachelor. Why would I settle for someone with your past? So it's like you're taking these jabs.
So he said this.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So it's like you're taking these jabs, but you want me to just be like, oh, it's fine. Let's move on. But it's like, how can I be with someone that sees me in such a negative way and not even letting me like show him who I am?
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I get where he's coming from. Like, he is an eligible bachelor, and just because she's recovered from something doesn't mean that he has to agree that she's recovered from it. It doesn't mean that he has to, like, even if you went through something in your past is still your past. And if he don't want to have to deal with that, then he shouldn't have to deal with it. But I think it sounds like she is kind of sensitive, but I do get where she's coming from. Like, it sounded like she feels he didn't really get to know her, that he didn't accept the things that she was telling him, and he wouldn't let things go, even though he claims that he did let them go. So it seems like a difference of communication, even though they seem both like they care about communication. It's just, I don't know, kind of weird. And I don't know if it's just because I'm attracted to her, but I feel like I'm almost like siding with her in this situation because I just feel like it's a little weird vibes, and it seems like they're telling two different stories, and I'm not really getting to the bottom of it with them talking.
Okay.
Or what I can do or what I offer. Like, I am a soldier. Like, I will go tooth and nail for my man. So it's like, for someone to just come into my life that is asking me all these questions, I'm being very open about everything. Like, everything. Like, I showed him my OnlyFans.
Oh,
Girl, showed it to him. And he was like, oh, that's not even that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've never been that girl. I never had to go the extra mile.
okay.
And he couldn't accept the fact that I didn't have to do all that to get where I wanted to be. So it's kind of like it was like he was stuck in a stigma or like what's the word? Stereotype. And it's just like, I'm a multifaceted woman. Like, I'm educated. I have my associate's degree. I'm working on my bachelor's degree. I hustle. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's like, if that's not something that you're okay with then I'm not for you. Because at the end of the day, if you're not going to put me in a place to win, I'm going to go put myself in a place to win.
Okay.
So it's just, yeah, that never ended. It never ended. It was just, it got to a point where I was like, every time he was like, I got to talk to you about something, I would be like, let me sit down. Yeah. So it was just like the icing on the cake. That was pretty much it. Like, I just can't be with someone that can't let me grow past where I've already grown from. Like, you're taking me back to where I've came, you know, like I don't need to go backwards. I need to
Yeah.
go forward. So that's kind of where I was at with that.
Okay. So when you speak about like you were in the entertainment world and things like that, I know you mentioned OnlyFans. Is that something you're doing now?
No.
Oh, that was like
No.
back then.
Yeah,
Okay.
that-
And
Not even back then. Like sometimes I'll like I think the last one was probably like back in April
Okay.
that I dropped like a little 3-minute video of me just dancing. So that's what I did. I was just dancing on there. Like I went virtual with my entertainment, with my dancing, but I never showed, like I never went full nude or anything like that. So
Okay.
it was just kind of like boudoir, just little stuff. Like not, I mean, some people might say that's not little stuff, but it wasn't as extreme as some people go, you know. So
Okay.
it was. I showed it to him. I was a dancer for about 4 or 5 years. During that time, I was in a relationship, so that's when I was like doing the whole Bonnie
dancing.
Clyde. Yeah, I
Okay.
was trying to do everything. I was trying to do it all. And yeah, when my partner died, I didn't find it fun anymore. I felt like it was a lot more vultures out there than I was used to because I didn't have to deal with none of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I just kind of let it go.
Okay.
You know, like I didn't feel like it fit me anymore. So I let it go. And
That definitely shows a lot of maturity on her part. Like the fact that she was able to like let go of the money and the attention. Like it wasn't. She was able to see that wasn't healthy for her to do anymore, and that she needed to step out of it. And I mean, to me, dancing on OnlyFans, that's not a big deal to me. Like I think for a lot of men, they see it as like, oh, like she's gonna cheat, you know, she's promiscuous, da da da. Like that's another income stream for me at the end of the day. Like if we're sharing our finances, you're on OnlyFans dancing, people give their money, that's my money too, is how I look at it. I'm straight P with the shit. But the dancing at the end of the day is even not a big of a deal. Like it's not like she's masturbating on OnlyFans. Like that is another level. And I've dated people that had videos of them on OnlyFans where they were masturbating. So it's like, you know, you gotta know what you can handle as a man. You gotta know how P you are. But at the end of the day, it sounds like he was not okay with this, even though she wasn't even currently doing it. But I'm not trying to like put the blame on him, like say he's not tough or he's whatever. Like it's just something not everyone wants to deal with, and clearly he didn't.
plus at the time, I was a single mom. So my daughter, I think she was like about 5 years old when I stopped dancing. She was starting to go to kindergarten. I was like, well, I can't do this with her. Like, no, like it's not gonna work anymore. Like when she was a kid, it was easy because it was like, okay, she sleep at night, I drop her off, sit her, go to work, come back. She didn't even know I was gone, you know?
Yeah.
But now it's like, I gotta take her to school. I gotta, like, I have, my responsibility list grew.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, yeah, I can't. Now, you know, I got my dance back in the corner. She's trying to put on my heels. I'm like, oh no. So yeah, it just stopped being fun for me anymore.
Yeah.
It just started being like, okay, so what type of woman do you want to be?
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, okay, I sticked with my modeling for a little bit. And even with that, it was like, I just didn't have the heart for it anymore. Like I just didn't. I was started bullshitting. I missing appointments and all that. Like it just stopped being fun.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
All right. And now Reggie.
Yeah. All right. So first,
But all right, I'm gonna cut it off right here. I'm gonna break this up into 2 episodes because this is a little bit of a longer catch-up episode. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comments. Let me know when you want to see the next part of this video. I think it's just, I really want to hear more of Reggie's side. Like I feel like we've heard a lot of Nova's side, but we haven't really heard Reggie talk a lot. And I feel like when he was talking, he wasn't really answering the question like she said he doesn't. So let me know what y'all think. Make sure you subscribe if you made it to the end of the video. Make sure you like the video. Check out my playlist to see my other Balloon Pop reaction videos. I'm going to get up out of here. Hope y'all have a great day. Peace.
Oh, here, let's go, okay, let's go. Yeah, yeah. She wanna make me her wife, but I don't wanna be her wife, okay. Slide by in the motherfucking range, I do the dash in the vintage, yeah.